Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Lords of the Night. With me, as always, your Lord of Punishment. Say hello, Scribe.
Good evening.
Yes, it's evening time here.
You usually say, "Hey, everybody."
I like to change things up. I don't want to be
No,
predictable.
you don't.
I do. No, you're the one who has the format, bitch.
Good evening. Hi,
Satsu,
Scribe, I guess.
how you doing? Or say hi, Satsu. Your Lord of Pennies is here as well. See, you fucked me all up. You dick. Your Lord of Pennies is here as well. Say hello, Satsu.
Hello, Satsu.
I'm your Lord of Pain, and apparently my pain tonight is Scribe.
Yes.
How you guys doing tonight? How you doing, Satsu?
I'm good. Just observing Scribe throwing monkey wrenches in your whole operation.
That's so fucked up. Scribbles, how are you?
I don't know. Apparently, I'm not wanted here. Apparently, I'm a problem for you.
I didn't say you were a problem. I said you were a pain.
I do think, however, that probably the chat is enjoying the spat.
Oh, if you guys are enjoying this, go check out Twitter and my wife.
Oh, no kidding. You can check out my wife. What the fuck?
Check out my wife, y'all.
Yes, check out Twitter and my wife.
I am doing well, thanks for asking. And
You're
guys,
welcome.
we have a great show for you tonight.
Yeah. All right, let's get pumped.
And on top of that, if you play 7 Days to Die or enjoy watching two idiots and their friends play 7 Days to Die, you can join us after this stream on 2 Cents Plus for the 7 Days to Die open stream. One of the gaming highlights of my week, I know. Anything to talk about before we get into how Donald Trump texted me today?
You got a super chat.
Thank you, Fritz. Why it got to be monkey wrenches, Satsu, you racist?
That's right. I think
because he's a monkey.
Oh, he's got a good point there, Fritz.
Yeah,
that's specious.
You're the racist.
Don't forget, guys, if you don't want YouTube to get your money, you can send me a link or a thing on Streamlabs. I brought it up, but I forgot to sign in. So it'll be about 5 minutes if that's the way you want to do it. And the only reason I bring that up is because somebody did before the stream. That's not true. I also do it because I'm a whore and I need money. I don't need money. I'd like money. I like money.
Yeah. Okay.
Just throwing that out there. I enjoy money. Yeah, Donald Trump sent me a text today, and the text heard round the world, y'all. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But this is not a clickbait. This is not a clickbait title. This really did happen. I just want that noted for the record. Scribbles, what kind of news we got tonight?
You forgot Monkey Dick.
No, it's right here. Oh. Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit that like button, guys, and don't forget to share our stuff. All of it. Everything that you see us do or hear about us do, share it with people. Because people are the only ones who watch. Thank you, Snubber. Monkey, if you consider me a friend, you need better standards. My standards are pretty low.
Jeez,
I got friends in low places, Snub.
I've heard of self-deprecating, but that's a little like, God damn, cut off your legs from underneath you. Well, shall we start with the horrible bad news?
Yeah, let's do the horrible bad news.
One law enforcement officer killed in Florence, South Carolina. 6 others injured.
Oh, last I heard it was only 5. Damn.
Well, yeah. 7 law enforcement officers were shot, 1 fatally, during a standoff in Florence, South Carolina on Wednesday, Florence Police Chief Alan Heidler said. Florence County Sheriff's deputies were executing a search warrant when the suspected shooter opened fire. Let's see. That was an update as of 8:30 Eastern.
We need to talk about this.
Well, I am talking about it.
Shooter opened fire.
Yes.
When the shooter opened fire.
Well, I mean, maybe they're just playing it safe because the details are not yet all confirmed or something, and they haven't identified.
I'm fairly certain the one opening fire was the shooter.
I only know what I read, Monkey.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. That shit just drives me nuts. Suspected shooter opened fire. Yes, he did, but he's not suspected of shooting. He shot.
All right. So that was the update blurb as of 8:30 Eastern. Now we're going slightly back in time, so the number of victims is different because it was updated, but the incidents or the detail should be solid. So I'll skip that part. The active shooter incident, which took place in a residential area, ended when the suspect surrendered to deputies after talking with a negotiator. He was taken to a hospital. A 20-year-old male in the home was also injured. 3 of the officers who were shot are Florence County Sheriff's deputies, and 2 are members of the Florence Police Force. The officer who died is a Florence officer. Agents with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives have responded to the crime scene in Vintage Place off Hoffmeyer Road. South Carolina Senator Tim Scott offered prayers to the officers and their families. This is simply devastating news from Florence. The selfless acts of bravery from the men and women in law enforcement is real, just like the power of prayer is real, Governor Henry McMaster said in a social media post. You're half right, but whatever. So that's all we have right now. No details on what the warrant was on, who the shooter was, etc. So if it gets updated, we'll probably talk about it tomorrow.
All righty. Good luck to the others who were shot there.
Excuse me, taking a drink of water so I can have my my talking voice. Let's see. In other news, do you like Trump and tax returns? Well, it's a thing that happened today.
Yeah, I don't like it, but let's talk about it real quick.
Senate Finance Chairman Orrin Hatch said Wednesday that he would be, quote, happy to look into allegations in a report from the New York Times that says Trump helped his parents dodge taxes in the 1990s, including, quote, instances of outright fraud, unquote. Quote, it's funny they wouldn't bring that up by the election, the Utah Republican told CNN's Manu Raju. Quote, I'd be happy to look into it, but right now I don't know enough about it. Democrats, including Trump's opponent Hillary Clinton, often slammed Trump for not releasing his tax returns during the 2016 election. Clinton questioned what Trump was hiding by not releasing his returns, saying, quote, so you've got to ask yourself, why does he not release them during a May 2016 campaign stop? Maybe because he doesn't need to win the presidency.
It's not required.
Yeah, it's not legally required. It is a courtesy / tradition, but it's, unless you want to start passing a law that anyone who runs for president is required to turn over their tax returns, unless you want to do that. And then, of course, the challenge will be a Fourth Amendment, requiring somebody to release their private information. Anyway, when asked if Trump should release his tax returns, Hatch said, quote, he may have to give up those returns, but Hatch wouldn't commit to seeking the returns himself. Quote, I don't know, he said, I've been in so many things, unquote. If I was him, I wouldn't want to give them up, Hatch added. Well, I guess so. So the headline to this, Hatch, Trump may have to give up his tax returns, is quote mining. Thanks a lot, CNN.
Well, are you surprised, really?
Well, let me back up. Maybe not quote mining, but it's disingenuous.
Selective.
Disingenuous.
Yeah, very disingenuous. See, that's what we were talking about I forget who that was. They didn't lie. They did not lie.
No, yeah, Hatch did say those words.
It's just nonsense the way that it was presented.
Like Hatch was saying that he was implying that Hatch was saying that he had some power over whether Trump was going to do that.
I need to interrupt.
I wasn't reading anything, so congratulations.
Well, it's news time. I need to interrupt news time for a moment.
Oh, okay.
Somebody retweeted the link for our show, and bless all of you who have done that. Several people have done it, but this one was Blind Rambler, and I think they came up with the tagline for our show.
Okay.
It says, random banter, horrible singing, and hilarious random comments.
Isn't that CNN?
I'm pretty sure it's not. They're not funny at all.
Well, I mean, sort of in like a when a clown cries kind of funny.
I just love that random banter, horrible singing, and hilarious random comments. I appreciate everyone who sends that out. And if you didn't, why not? If you're in the chat and didn't, why not? Huh?
Maybe that last one should be switched to incriminating random comments.
But that's pretty much only for me.
Yeah. Well, we're on your stream tonight, so it'd been fitting.
And thank you, everybody, for stopping by and saying hi. Hit that like button, guys. Every time you don't hit a like button, a puppy gets run over.
By Scribe.
Wouldn't it? I don't drive.
Oh,
What?
that's right.
What?
We have a birthday. Speaking of horrible singing.
What? What?
Mr. Ambigoso. Did I say it right this time? Because I sang to Mr. Ambigoso this morning. And we'll get to that later.
Wait. You already sang to him. Then why does he get 2?
Because this is us singing to him.
That sounds like double dipping.
What's wrong with double dipping?
Well, I
if
mean,
she lets you put the tip in, you better put it back in a second.
I don't want your sloppy singing seconds.
He was a dip and a half, Scribe. It's okay.
Why? So it's been several hours. That would have dried up.
What? Oh, well, like it's Chinese food. You want it several hours later.
Yeah.
Who's this person now?
Mr. Ambigoso.
Where is?
I'm fucking it up. I'm sure. Where is it in chat?
You mean like ambiguoso?
Ambiguoso? Is that how you say it? I called him Mr. Ambi earlier, so that's what I'm gonna call
Monkey,
him.
just so you know, I watched like 60% of your stream this morning.
Did you have nothing better to do?
Nope.
Of course not. So this is Satsu. What the fuck else is he gonna do? Play video games?
I mean, I was doing that also.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
I did watch them.
What are you pointing to? My dirty dish there? Yeah. I will take care of it later. I just had that not long ago. My wife is standing here judging me, you guys.
Well, what else is new? She married you.
I did not forcibly kiss you. Okay, you need to tell that story too. We got to sing. You want to sing with us?
What are we singing?
Happy birthday to Mr. Ambi.
Okay.
Oh, you get a lady monkey involved in it too, Ambi.
Oh my God, this guy is spoiled as fuck.
Yeah, he is.
Spoiled as.
All right, Mr. Ambi, are you out there? Are you listening? I hope so, because I'm singing to you for a second time, and if you're not, I'm going to feel dumb.
Shut up, monkey boy.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's sing. He does want to hear you bitching.
This one's for you, and a 1, and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
I thought it was going to get better, but it didn't.
Happy birthday, dear Mr. Ambi. I can't pronounce the rest of your name.
Okay.
Happy birthday to you.
Holy fuck.
Wait, was that the emergency alert again? Is Trump tweeting again?
Scribe asked if Trump was tweeting again.
Scribe, you was my hero. Hashtag.
Oh no!
Hashtag not anymore. Ambi, I hope you had a great birthday. I really do.
Damn. You fucked that up.
Now that was a no. Yeah.
Be your hero,
I was gonna finish the song, but she finished it. Man, she.
I know. I just stopped. I just let it go.
Me too. Well done. You should come do that every time.
Hashtag me too.
That part.
I just got ear raped by Lady Monkey.
Oh!
Satsu said he was just ear raped by you.
Oh my.
The guys are not being nice to you tonight.
Why does Scribe hate me all of a sudden?
Why the fuck I didn't say shit?
That time it was Satsu.
Satsu.
That hit me right in the field, Satsu.
Oh,
What?
Why are you making my wife sad?
It wasn't consensual. That's all I'm
I was
saying.
just comparing her falsetto to, the emergency broadcasting system. There's nothing wrong with
You're
that.
fine to barge in anytime you want. I love you, baby. Anyhow,
I think. Anyway.
So, with singing and new taglines out of the way, what else is on the docket?
Well, let's see. You want some Kavanaugh? Your daily dose of Kavanaugh?
Yeah, let's have some
Kavanaugh,
Kavanaugh.
Kavanaugh's Yale classmates say they've struggled to connect with the FBI.
Okay, so
Excuse me.
do
As
they have
the
anything
FBI,
important to say?
I don't know. As the FBI races to finish its supplemental background check into Judge Brett Kavanaugh, individuals who believe they have useful information about Kavanaugh's behavior or experience have tried with varying degrees of success to share their information with the FBI. The efforts have led to a frustration that information some classmates posit as important is not being included in the FBI probe, but may reflect the reality that as a supplemental background check, the FBI's focus may be narrower than they would be in a criminal investigation. You're right.
Because
It is.
Oh, God.
It's not a criminal investigation.
Remember, it's a job interview, guys.
It's a fact-finding thing. That's it. And it's specifically focused on the allegations as presented. And that's it.
Like, can you guys think of any other situation where the FBI is investigating something and any fucking random nobody can just run up and be like, hey, I have important information about your case. And they're just going to hear all of them out. Like, no, get the fuck out of here.
No,
We're trying to do our jobs.
They will go to the stuff that is pertinent.
Yeah. Or they have some kind of reason to follow up on. Anyway, Carrie Cordero, a CNN legal analyst and former counsel to the U.S. Assistant Attorney General for National Security, that's a title, told CNN that it is also not unusual that someone would contact the FBI with information and then not hear back. Quote, as a general matter, if the FBI is conducting an investigation, they decide who they need to talk to. Exactly.
See, this is the thing. They're fucking getting pissed off because they usually are used to having control of these situations by being able to manipulate them however they want. But now that they're dealing with the FBI is like, fuck off and let us do our job. And they're pissed because they can't fucking slip their dicks in there.
Real quick, I have a donation. Satsu hasn't put a gun in his mouth from the singing. That's a good thing. From Cryptic. Thank you so much.
Hooray for no suicide.
Oh, listen to these broken hearts. A series of individuals who attended Yale with Brett Kavanaugh say they have either not been contacted by the FBI as part of their renewed background investigation or have tried to make contact with the FBI as the agency continues its supplemental background check into Kavanaugh. I'm important. Look at me. I swear I know stuff.
Well, here's the thing. You can go down to your local FBI office, tell them what you know, and then leave.
Yeah. And if they want to follow up with you, they will.
Yeah, it's not that hard, guys. It's really not.
Why haven't the FBI called me yet? I'm so important to this story.
Didn't they look in the yearbook and see I was with him?
I know. My picture was right next to his. That means we were like blood brothers. In interviews with several classmates, none of whom claim they were direct witnesses to the incident in which Deborah Ramirez alleges in the New Yorker that Kavanaugh exposed himself to her during a freshman party, former Yale students tell CNN they still believe they have some information and either have not been contacted at all or, yeah, we already told us that. As of Tuesday evening, Liz Swisher, a former classmate of Kavanaugh's who had appeared on CNN and questioned Kavanaugh's truthfulness about his drinking at Yale in testimony before the Senate Judiciary Committee, told CNN she had not been contacted by the FBI. Yeah, because probably the FBI doesn't give a shit about his drinking allegations.
It literally has nothing to... Okay, we've seen this with a lot of people. We really have, and including with Christine Ford herself, because her lawyer's like, the FBI hasn't contacted her. Yeah, because you gave your testimony in front of the entire fucking nation, you stupid bitch. Unless you were holding back evidence, there's literally no reason for them to talk to you.
Yeah, that shit's already in a file. Your actual sworn statement is already in the file, their investigative file or whatever. Like, they already have that shit.
Yeah, if you had anything else to tell the FBI, then you would have been withholding information from the Senate Judiciary Committee, and that tempts felony. So what do they have to talk to you about?
Yeah, but this person that CNN was talking to, like, I saw him drink. So that's not in question here.
He drank more than he should have. I saw him black out. Well, okay. And you have what proof of this?
That was the fun thing with the guy yesterday. He drank enough to pass out. Did you see him pass out? No.
But he drank enough to.
But I would have passed out if I drank that much.
Yeah. I passed out just watching him.
Thank you, Cryptic. What's the difference between bird flu and swine flu? Bird flu, you need tweetment. Swine flu, you need ointment.
He's like, he drunk so much, I passed out.
Cryptic, I like that joke. I really do. Thank you so much.
Well, anyway, there's that. I have one more story, which means there's room for either lots of MSS news or stories you guys might have. I know a lot of things happened today that we could talk about, but this one caught my attention. Professor implied that committing sexual assault is a rite of passage for men. Now he says that was satire.
Okay, go ahead.
Brooklyn college students are calling for administrators to fire a professor who seemed to dismiss sexual assault by teenage boys in a blog post the teacher now says was an attempt at satire. Last week, Mitchell Langbert, a business professor for 20 years, wrote, quote, "If someone did not commit sexual assault in high school, then he is not a member of the male sex." The Democrats have discovered that 15-year-olds play spin the bottle, and they have jumped on a series of supposed spin the bottle crimes during Brett Kavanaugh's minority. Oh, like when he was young. Okay. Which they characterize as rape, although no one complained or reported any crime for 40 years.
Time out.
During his minority? That's a weird way of putting it.
That's not really how that word is ever used, is it?
It sounds... I don't know. Let me see. Minority. Can you use that to describe youth? Well, nope. The state or period of being under the age of full legal responsibility.
I have never heard it that way. Okay.
I took me a second, but I understood what he was saying. But no, I can't recall reading that before or hearing that before. But interesting. Okay, but not incorrect. So there you go. Learn something new every day. The blog post was reposted in a private group for some 5,000 students and alumni. Some students were outraged. Corinne Green said her campus group, Young Progressives of America,
oh God,
wants Langbert fired. Quote,
of course they do.
To have someone in a position of power espousing sexual assault is not a joke. It's something that needs to be taken seriously.
That's why I've never gone for a position of power, because I like to joke about rape.
Yeah. Well, Langbert, a 64-year-old associate professor who teaches on weekends, oh wow, a lot of power there, said the post was parody and he apologized to anyone who was offended. Oh, God. Quote, "I was trying to be satirical, but I guess I'm no Jonathan Swift," he said, referring to the Irish author from the 1700s. "I appreciated that it might have been in bad taste, and I have apologized for that, and I will again. I'm sorry people got offended. I didn't mean to hurt anyone's feelings or cause them to not feel respected. I honestly didn't expect them to read it." He said he has turned over threats of violence toward him to authorities. Oh, great. And then they go into the Kavanaugh stuff and all that fun stuff. Let's see. Brooklyn College Provost Ann Lopez called the comments in the post abhorrent and counter to the values of the school community. Quote, "However, the First Amendment to the United States Constitution protects even speech that many experience as offensive, such as the faculty member's post," she says. Lopez added that officials will plan a forum to discuss the issue.
Props for that one, at least.
Well, at least for mentioning it, although we don't know what the outcome will be.
Yeah. I would like to know what exactly it said, because from what little we heard, that does sound like satire to me. Like somebody from my way of thinking, making jokes about how these idiots think all men are rapists.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it comes. But progressives in comedy, they just don't go together.
Anyway, there was that. Let me check our wonderful friends at CNN real quick.
Damn it. Master just caught me in a intellectual dishonesty.
What?
Dude, what are you talking about? You are going for power. Remember, you've been running for president. That is true.
Oh.
This is my Ford moment right here, guys. I was caught. I did it.
Let's see. I want to touch base while we have a couple extra minutes here with our favorite friend at CNN, Chris Cillizza.
Oh, what's that idiot doing?
Oh, sorry. Well, it is The Point with Chris Cillizza, but this particular story is by Z. Byron Wolf.
Byron Wolf.
No, Z. Byron Wolf.
Yeah. Z. Byron Wolf.
I hope the Z stands for Zedediah, just because that's a cool name. Inside the Judiciary GOP strategy to undermine Kavanaugh's accusers. Let's aside from them undermining themselves for the most part, I wonder what the GOP is doing actively to undermine them. Let's see. The great national question at the heart of the Brett Kavanaugh Supreme Court nomination is, who do you believe? Christine Blasey Ford, who said she was attacked by Kavanaugh at a drunken high school party, or Brett Kavanaugh, who won't apologize for his love of beer, but says he doesn't get that drunk and he certainly never assaulted anyone? Question mark.
Why is everybody so offended at this he likes beer thing?
Man, I don't know. I guess that's an admission of like being drunk is an admission of guilt, I guess. With the swing Supreme Court seat hanging in the balance, both sides of the debate have engaged in some psychological warfare. But Republicans on the Senate Judiciary Committee have elevated the sowing of doubt about Ford and 2 other women who have made claims against Kavanaugh to an art form.
Really?
I'm curious to know. I'm curious to know what the GOP has done outside of what the women's testimony is. Did you see the Swetnick interview?
No, I didn't. But I did.
Oh my God!
Did you see Trump yesterday?
Well, no, but we read about him. What specifically?
Where he was quote unquote mocking Christine Ford.
Oh right, yeah, it's bullshit too. Let's see. Most Republicans on the committee fought like hell to keep an FBI investigation of the claims from taking place, and having lost that battle, have now fought against the results of the FBI investigation from being made public. Okay.
They have no say in that. That is entirely up to McConnell.
Yeah. Because he's the chairman. They've also selectively released rumors to undercut Ford and Kavanaugh's other accuser, Deborah Ramirez, who said Kavanaugh exposed himself to her when they were in college, and Julie Swetnick, who said Kavanaugh was present at a party where she was the victim of a gang rape. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. Go watch her interview. Was it NBC or CNN or whatever? Watch that interview and then set that up against her sworn testimony, and you tell me if there are any holes in her story.
Real quick, thank you, Alan Sawyer. Hey guys, I've been a fan for months, watching you on an Xbox. It's nice to have a device that I can finally chat with you all on. Hey, thanks for watching.
Oh, nice. Hello. I like how they're calling it rumors, like proven shit that has come out about them and their stories literally changing because of words that came out of their own mouths. It's rumors. That's interesting.
Data, that is probably the best question I've seen in a while. I'm sorry. Who stands in line at their own sex trains?
Let's see. Like a good criminal defense team, Senate Judiciary Committee Republicans stoked rumors and sprinkled out leads that seemed designed to undercut Ford, Ramirez, and Swetnick and prop up Kavanaugh, throwing doubt on the women's stories without actually disputing them.
Who?
So wait.
And when?
Such as, here we go. It was the Senate Judiciary Committee that put out a press release. This is the author now, a press release, on a signed statement it had received from an ex-boyfriend of Swetnick's. No need to reprint its contents here.
Oh, don't. Because how dare.
Why show content? Why show the context of the contents? Yeah, thank you. But it was offered somehow as evidence that Swetnick was not telling the truth about being raped. Well, how is that guy's testimony any less weighty than hers, because it's all just a story?
Because he has a penis.
And unlike Swetnick, we don't know of him changing his story at all.
Oh, here we go. Swetnick's lawyer, Michael Avenatti, issued a blistering response, which you will reproduce here, but not produce the actual stuff that was alleged.
Okay. Yeah, because we don't want our fucking brain-dead audience to actually see it, because we know they won't look at it.
Oh, and Avenatti actually named the guy. I thought his name had been redacted. The letter from Dennis Ketterer is garbage. The GOP is desperate, Avenatti said in a tweet. The allegations he makes are false and without any basis, unlike my clients.
Just like all of my clients, weirdly enough.
We demand that the FBI interview my client and him, and that anyone found to have submitted false info be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Well, put your client's interview up against her sworn testimony and tell me if she hasn't just perjured herself.
Yeah. Well, did you see his new client?
No, who's his new client?
Avenatti has a new client who says that they went to over 20 different parties that Kavanaugh and Judge were at.
Oh, my God.
They don't claim any rape, but they do say they saw them spiking the punch with alcohol and Quaaludes. For those of you who don't know, Quaaludes come or used to come in a hard pill form. These weren't some capsule you could break open and stir into the fucking punch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have looked like somebody dropped pills in the fucking punch. But yeah. Another sworn statement.
Why are there Skittles floating in the punch?
Indeed, right.
Let's see. It was Grassley's office that, in the lead up to Ford's hearing last Thursday, made it known they had interviewed two still anonymous men who said it was they, and not Kavanaugh, who may have attacked Ford.
Oh, fuck off. Wait, the way they made this known is the same way they've made everything known. They have to release this stuff. They release it on the Senate Judiciary website.
Yeah. The men were never named, and their helpful offering has not ultimately been pursued, at least not publicly, probably because they didn't find it credible. So what's wrong with that? I mean, you guys are complaining about people coming forward and not getting heard. The Senate Judiciary Committee heard people coming forward and dismissed it.
Isn't this basically like this whole article is essentially they're doing all the things that we've been doing and it's pissing us off?
Kind of, yeah.
Let's see.
The original leak that came from the Democrat, that's no big deal.
Let's see. Democrat Dick Durbin asked Ford about it at the hearing. Well, yeah, and what is she? She knows nothing about it. Let's see. It was Grassley's office that released, via a transcript of the questioning of Kavanaugh, some of the more outlandish and unverified allegations against Kavanaugh, including the one of a possible attack on a boat off the coast of Rhode Island. Yeah, so like a good defense team, the Senate GOP was releasing further allegations. What the fuck are you saying, dude?
Well, they're not only doing it for us, which is what they should be doing. They should only be doing it when it benefits us, and it pisses me off that they're not specifically doing it only for us. We thought we only had control of that, just like we think we're the only ones who have the right to free speech.
For the record, Michael Avenatti might want to pay attention to the charge on that whole boat thing, because that's been referred to the FBI for criminal punishment.
Yeah. Let's see. That one had been called in to Democratic Senator Sheldon Whitehouse's office. He referred it to the committee majority. It was offered multiple times by Republicans at the hearing last Thursday as evidence that the charges were just plain silly. Quote, crazy stuff, gangs, illegitimate children, fights on boats in Rhode Island, all nonsense. Reported breathlessly and often uncritically by the media, Kavanaugh said during his angry opening statement. Yeah, and was he wrong?
Of course not.
The man who made the call to White House's Senate office has since apologized and may face charges for lying to Congress, since it has been referred to the FBI. So So first off, you're complaining that Grassley and the GOP have released, quote unquote, undermining information about the witnesses against Kavanaugh. But you're also complaining that they did not release further information about people who would try to discredit Ford's testimony, and that they released information on further charges, even though they ended up turning out to be lies.
Yes.
What exactly is your complaint, Z. Byron Wolf?
Real quick, Skep in chat says Michael Avenatti is going to end up getting his ass disbarred. He could actually. Right now, he's put himself in serious jeopardy given Swetnick's interview, because if he knew she was lying when she signed that statement, that hurts him a lot. Just throwing that out there.
Okay, and this is the finisher, and then we'll go on to MSS News. It was Grassley's office that demanded notes from Ford's attorneys of her therapy sessions and a recording of her polygraph exam after it obtained a statement from a former boyfriend who alleged that she helped a friend prepare for a polygraph. The boyfriend was disputed by the friend Ford allegedly helped. Why would she confess to having tried to fool a polygraph? Anyway, who told CNN Tuesday that no such help ever occurred. Yeah, because you might face criminal charges for doing so. That didn't stop the committee from suggesting with its demands that Ford was somehow a master of tricking polygraph machines. No, they were following up on somebody that went to the FBI with information.
Yeah, but they're not supposed to follow up on stuff that doesn't benefit us. Scribe, are you not getting this?
I know. All of this works to undermine the accusers as the country waits for the results of an FBI investigation, which the public may or may not be able to see. Hey, the FBI investigation could also show the accusers have absolutely no basis for their claims. I mean, unless you're saying the FBI investigation has only one goal, and that is to verify your side of the argument.
That is exactly what they're saying, Scribe.
And I suppose you might be disappointed. No, I understand, Satsu. I'm just sort of talking to the ether because this guy is somehow being paid to be a journalist, except this isn't journalism. Fuck. If somebody just transcribed our discussions about any particular article from CNN and posted them on The Point, they'd be just as valid and probably more so than half of this shit. Anyway, I could go on. But I'm done.
Yeah. Did you see Sarah Huckabee Sanders this morning?
No.
For the first time in since early September, mid-September, I forget, they had a White House press briefing. They've been on, I don't know if she's been on vacation or what. And Jim Acosta asked her about President Trump making fun, or mocking is the word, mocking Christine Blasey Ford. What Trump did was got up there and he gave a speech yesterday somewhere where he was talking about her and how she remembers that she had one beer. And he goes, do you remember where you were? No. Do you remember how you got there? No. Do you remember how you got home? No. But I remember one beer. And so Jim Acosta asked Sarah Sanders about this today. And it goes back and forth. And Sarah goes, look, I think he was telling the truth. He goes, we have no problem telling the truth. I know it might be a problem for you. Oh, shit, Sarah. Yeah, Sarah was on point. She was on fire.
I know this foreign concept of being honest is
yeah, it was just so
beyond
funny.
you, but we like to do that here. Even though Trump yeah, never mind.
Was that our last story?
That's all I had.
Oh,
all right.
Did anybody happen to see any real quick before we go any further? Did anybody, because I thought Scribe might have picked this up just because it was stupid and funny. But apparently, outside of having their dicks in literally everything else in existence, Gamergate apparently has their dick in the Kavanaugh situation too.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, I saw that. Yes.
I'm just like, damn, they're everywhere, man. Like, Gamergate is the most powerful organization to ever be created to these people. And like, even though it was just a bunch of people complaining about some shit that wasn't like an established group and anything like that, and it was so fragmented that it kind of didn't even really matter. Like in the end, it like they have turned this into like this huge nefarious organization.
They got Trump in the White House. Isn't that what Anita said on Twitter yesterday?
Gamergate got Trump in the White House. They got this Kavanaugh situation. They've effectively, put out articles and conscious efforts to shut down any game that SJWs like. I'm just like, man, these motherfuckers are efficient.
This is thread necromancy, for fuck's sake. I mean, bringing up Gamergate now? Seriously? Anyway.
All right, guys, with that, the news is done, but MSS News is just beginning. If you have a story you'd like us to take a look at, hit us up on the Twitter machine at #MSS News. We can't get to them all, but that's because you guys are freaking awesome and sending too goddamn many. Scribbles?
Thank you, Monkey. This one comes from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. They met at the club. A gun and a drink later, he was out cold and out $200,000.
Damn.
This sounds like a movie plot. It's an old tale, but with a new twist. A young man out partying for the night goes home with two women he just met at the club. They drug him and abscond with all of his expensive jewelry. But according to police, in this case, the victim was forced to drink the concoction at gunpoint. What the drink was laced with wasn't clear, and police aren't saying. The haul, more than $200,000 in chains, bracelets, and watches, including an Audemars Piguet wristwatch valued at $56,000. I tell you what, guys, if you have enough money to spend $56,000 on a watch, please send a check of $55,000 to me, care of the Lords of the Night, because you're fucking stupid.
If you have $50,000 to spend on a watch, I have a Streamlabs.
Yeah, there's that. This time, said Miami Police Detective Kenia Fallett, they pulled a gun on him and forced him to drink. Police on Tuesday didn't release the incident report detailing the ripoff. They only released a 3-paragraph narrative and a video of the women walking into an elevator at the pricey condominium where the man lived. There was no mention of the victim's details or even where he met the women. According to police, the victim returned to his apartment at the Mint condominium on the Miami River at 92 Southwest 3rd Street with the two women at about 4 a.m. on September 14th. Once inside, police said the two women, quote, prepared alcoholic beverages, walked into the victim's bedroom, and at gunpoint forced the victim to drink a cocktail. Fallot said the man fell asleep almost instantly. Jesus, what'd they give him? When he woke up a few hours later, the women were gone, along with his jewelry. Apartments at the condo ranged from between $260,000 to $1.6 million.
Fuck.
Somehow, I think this guy could afford to lose that shit. All the same, you're stupid if you spend that much money on fucking jewelry.
And keep it in your house.
Unsecured in your house. Yeah.
How these women know that he had enough money for that?
Oh, the guy like that, in order to get two women to come back to the apartment, he's bragging his ass off. His car probably told him that. The jewelry he took with him to the club probably told him that. The amount of money he was spending on drinks probably told him that. Yeah. No, this guy
I can't handle this level of toxic masculinity. This is like beyond my comprehension.
Is this? I didn't hear about this. This comes from the original Shroom. Is this real?
Uh-oh.
Well, it looks like it's Fox News. Okay. Representative Jackson Lee's intern arrested in doxing of GOP senators during Kavanaugh hearing. Well, what? A Democratic congressional intern was arrested Wednesday and accused of posting the personal information of at least one Republican senator during last week's hearing about sexual assault claims against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. U.S. Capitol Police said 27-year-old Jackson Costco, C-O-S-K-O, not like the warehouse store, was charged with making public restricted personal information, witness tampering, threats in interstate communication, unauthorized access of a government computer, identity theft, second-degree burglary, and unlawful entry.
Good job, dumbass.
This guy's fucked. Police added that the investigation was continuing and more charges could be filed. Senior congressional sources tell Fox News that Costco most recently worked as an unpaid intern for Representative Sheila Jackson Lee. Oh, most recently worked. So wasn't currently? I'm confused. He previously worked with Senator Maggie Hassan, Democrat of New Hampshire, and former Democratic Senator Barbara Boxer of California. A LinkedIn page with Costco's name on it describes him as a, quote, Democratic political, professional, and cybersecurity graduate student. Jackson Lee's office told Fox News that Costco had only worked there for a couple of months, but has now been terminated. Okay, so he got
busted quick.
He was employed there at the time this happened. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate, Glenn Rushing, Jackson Lee's chief of staff, told Fox News. Rushing added that the Congresswoman's office is, quote, cooperating with law enforcement. Personal information of Senator Lindsey Graham, Mike Lee, and Orrin Hatch was posted on their respective Wikipedia pages as the Senate Judiciary Committee questioned Kavanaugh over allegations that he assaulted Christine Blasey Ford at a high school party in the early 1980s. All three have professed their belief that Kavanaugh is innocent of the claims brought against him by Ford, with Graham telling the federal judge, quote, you've got nothing to apologize for, unquote, amid a fiery rant denouncing Democrats' handling of the claims. The intentional publication of the information was first caught by a Twitter bot that automatically tracks any changes made to Wikipedia entries from anyone located in the U.S. Congress and publicizes them on the social media site. The bot account later deleted the tweets because the edits contained personal information. According to the bot, whoever posted the information did so from a computer in the House of Representatives. Sources tell Fox News that authorities are looking into the possibility that at least two other senators were doxxed. Well, that just adds extra layers of charges on this, if that's true.
All right. Well, be looking out for the articles to say that this was actually Russians and they're trying to lie on.
It was the Russians.
Man, that kid is fucked.
For a cybersecurity expert.
Yeah.
Fucking moron.
Let's see.
Good luck in prison, dude.
This one comes from Froggy, a federal prison, nonetheless. Probably. Let's see. Flight forced to land at KCI after drunken man wouldn't stop doing pull-ups. An unruly passenger who forced an unscheduled landing at Kansas City International Airport on Monday night was apparently intoxicated and refused to stop using the aircraft's overhead compartments to do pull-ups.
It just seems silly to me. Of all the things we've seen forced landings for, an asshole doing pull-ups, that's kind of funny.
American Airlines Flight 2763 was en route from Phoenix to Boston when it made an unscheduled landing at Kansas City about 7:45 p.m. because of the passenger's behavior. Excuse me. The report that the man was already intoxicated when he boarded the flight with a woman and 2 dogs. Quote, he was leaning up against where you put the bags overhead, and a passenger came by and said, "What are you going to do? Some pull-ups?" And the guy actually grabbed onto it and started doing some pull-ups on the plane in front of everybody. The man then reportedly ordered more beer and alcohol while continuing to do pull-ups. Flight attendants eventually asked him 3 or 4 times to sit down. The passenger refused and, quote, got really verbally abusive. After the plane landed, the man was escorted off the flight and off KCI property, but was not arrested or charged. Yeah, because doing pull-ups on a plane is probably not a crime. Just
No.
yeah.
Dude, I'd have been pissed. If I was on that plane. I had somewhere to be.
Yeah, why did they force a landing? That seems over the top.
Well, I can understand out of overabundance of caution. You've got somebody who's belligerent, drunk, making verbal threats at people. You don't want to take a chance. You don't know what's going to happen. So,
all right.
Okay. Well, let's see. This one comes from Frosted Glass. Oh God, are we back to this again? This is old news, kind of. Not that the story's old, but we've heard this before. Employers' paid period leave policy in Australia stirs world debate. Really?
I thought women could do anything. We could do bleeding.
At the Victorian Women's Trust offices in bustling Melbourne, Australia, the small staff of about 15 employees, all women except for one, well, now that is not gender equality, talk openly about everything, even their menstrual cycles.
That must be fun conversation.
Yeah, that's appropriate work conversation.
I kind of stink today. Me too.
Somebody smell fish in here? The Women's Advocacy Organization in Australia has been offering paid days off for painful periods called period leave or menstrual leave to its employees for the past 18 months. These days do not count as sick leave, but they are specifically provided for those monthly occasions when a woman might request a stay home due to having uncomfortable symptoms related to her menstrual cycle. So this is a privilege afforded to only women, you say.
Mm-hmm.
What about my balls are sticking to my leg day? Can we take that off?
Well, they said the company's what? It's all women except for one dude?
One poor bastard.
Oh, well, I mean,
no.
In that instance, fuck it. Let them bitches do whatever they want. But
what we need is Blue Ball Day.
Blue Ball Day.
Blue Ball Day. I'm sore. I'm sore. I need a day off to go jerk off or go fuck my wife or something. Something.
No, because blue balls, that suggests that we're objectifying women and we deserve that.
If I was objectifying women, I wouldn't have blue balls.
No, if you were using them as an object, you wouldn't have blue balls.
Oh. Okay.
Viewing them as an object is different.
Oh, okay. Now the organization is encouraging other employers to introduce similar menstrual policies, and it even provides a, quote, menstrual policy template for employers to download online to integrate into their own organizations. Quote, the interesting thing, over 18 months, I think the number of days of leave that my staff has claimed is probably about 7 or 8 across the whole office. Well, how many have men been able to claim for equitable things? Would that be 0?
0.
Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, this goes on for me. Anyway, so, yeah.
I mean, like I said, if it's an all-female company, then whatever. Do whatever you want.
Well,
but
I'm with you on that part of it, but when they try spreading it and when it has caused worldwide conversation, fuck off.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
A period, I understand it's not pleasant, but women have been dealing with that since the beginning of time. Stop pretending it's something that you need days off for. Yeah. Especially when you're running around telling me you can do everything I can do bleeding.
Yeah, like you can't advocate for equality and then push this type of shit. Like you just can't
use your sick time. You got sick time. That's what it's there for. You feel sick. This happens once a month. You feel sick. Okay, there you go. Let's see. This one comes from Shady Grin, who I hope is feeling better today. He sounded kind of sad on Twitter earlier. Okay, here we go. The connection between Brett Kavanaugh and Gamergate.
Oh boy, here it is.
Okay, I don't know if I'll read this whole thing because it goes on for a very long time, but I'll read a bit. Mark Judge, who Christine Blasey Ford testified was in the room when Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh allegedly sexually assaulted her, is a Gamergate supporter who argued that feminists want to, quote, ban men from having sexual fantasies, unquote.
Mark Judge, by the way, the very first sentence, it says Gamergate's connection to Kavanaugh, and the first person they say has connection to Gamergate is somebody totally different.
Yep.
So you already know what kind of riot this is going to be.
So would you say that headline is disingenuous?
Yeah, but it don't stay disingenuous for long. But doesn't that show how cocky they are? Where they're like, we can literally put a misleading title and then put our correction in the first sentence because we know that they won't even read that. They'll just look at the title and be like, I knew it. And then
here's the new game, 6 Degrees of Gamergate. I'm not kidding. I mean, if this is what it's going to be now. Resurfaced articles. You mean you Googled, I think. Also show Judge, who completed an interview with the FBI on Tuesday, attacking the notion that video games should give women agency, instead defending the practice of, quote, the attentions of a gorgeous, sexy woman, unquote, being served up as an in-game prize. It's all fiction, by the way. Gamergate arose in 2014, ostensibly over concerns about ethics in games journalism, and quickly coalesced into a group of self-identified members whose concerns expanded to include the rise of what they labeled PC culture. What they labeled PC culture? Did you live in the fucking 90s?
Yeah, PC culture was made up by people who were against it.
Yeah, PC culture was a term invented by Gamergate in 2014. Yeah, good job, Variety. The fuck?
Why I was saying about it in the 80s.
And, quote, social justice warriors. Yeah, that phrase didn't exist before Gamergate either. No one had ever used that phrase prior to Gamergate.
Nope.
The more vocal of the group typically harass people. More often women and minorities. Yeah, because there were no women and no minorities involved with Gamergate at all. Who questioned some of the status quo of game content in the video game industry. Gamergate harassment is most often sparked by the expansion of gaming content, settings, and characters to include more women, minorities, and the examination of modern social... Oh, fuck off. Okay, well, Variety doesn't know what they're talking about, and they haven't said anything.
I just want to say one of my favorite things about Far Cry 5 was how many bitches I was able to shoot.
There you go.
I am for equality. I get tired of shooting just men. I want to shoot women in the face in video games.
Wait, also, can't you play as a female character in Far Cry 5?
Yes.
And you can shoot men?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And women?
Lots of black people you can shoot too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there was way too many of them.
Too many. Too much diversity in that game.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see.
I can't believe that's still a thing. Jesus Christ.
What is this? Okay. That's a video. I can't really read a video. Okay, I'll read this one. This one comes from Massive Dynamics. And then I might have to stop because my voice is giving out.
Cool.
Civil partnerships. Why I want one with my sister. Catherine Utley has lived with her sister Jinda for more than 30 years. The pair raised Catherine's daughter together and jointly own a house in South London. And they are among a number of siblings who want to be allowed to enter into a civil partnership. When the idea was aired on Twitter yesterday by a Tory MP, he was met with huge outcry and accused of supporting incest and being ridiculous. But civil partnerships for siblings is something which campaigners have long called for. Quote, there's no real argument against it, says Catherine Utley, 59. People are getting the wrong end of the stick. Okay. She has lived with elder sister Jinda, 63, full name Virginia. Well, I just call her Virginia. For most of her adult life since they bought their first flat together in 1985. Quote, she stood by me when I had my child in 1993, says Catherine. I got pregnant and it wasn't planned and it wasn't possible for me to live with the father. And so it would have been a complete nightmare. My dear sister's immediate reaction was to stand by us. We bought a house together to be close to our two brothers, and it was just a wonderful thing. She's been my rock, totally. Catherine says there is a special bond for siblings who live together in adulthood.
A creepy bond.
Please do not describe the details of your special bond. Quote, she's like my other half. She's my best friend. I've known her since I was born. Some people don't get on with their siblings, but if you do, it can be a very strong relationship. Well, I'm very close with my sister. Now, I'm not going to get into a civil partnership with her.
Well, here's the thing, and I'm probably going to get in trouble for. Are they wanting it for like tax reasons and stuff?
That's, well, I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet. I can only assume that that's what they mean. Let me,
because it's easy to make the incest jokes here, but if they're not talking about an incestuous relationship, they just want things like the tax breaks that households get.
Here you go.
I can see that on their part.
Yeah. They bought their house for £175,000, but because property taxes have increased, their home is worth much more. Under inheritance tax laws, property over a certain threshold is taxed at a rate of 40% when passed on. The issue is in the spotlight after the government announced that the option of a civil partnership is to be extended to mixed-sex couples. Previously, they were only available to same-sex couples. Conservative MP Sir Edward Lee said, quote, why should siblings who've lived together for years have to pay estate duty when one dies? Well, I don't see why you couldn't figure out a way to say someone who has lived in residence with a family member in a particular home to a certain extent and can be proven so. I don't think you have to have a civil partnership to get there, do you?
Why not just put both of your names on the deed?
Yeah, I don't get it. They bought it together, so why isn't it both their house?
Yeah. I get what they're saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Because that is something that would be accommodated for people based on being in a relationship. I'm quoting here. But if you're going to, I don't like inheritance tax anyway. I'll just leave it at that.
Bye, Sarah Plyer. She's going to work.
See you, Sarah.
Have a good day at work.
But again, I do not in any way support marrying your sister. Male, female, either way. No.
Nothing says loving like marrying your cousin.
Cousin's a little different.
You know where I got that phrase from?
No.
Married with Children.
Jerry Lee Lewis?
Married with Children.
You get the Jerry Lee Lewis joke, right?
Yes, I get the Jerry Lee Lewis joke, but
okay.
I was talking about Married with Children.
Waffles.
Devil Fruit Zero says cousins marry. It happens.
It does. Depends on the state. I think there has to be a certain number of separations to marry your cousin, depending on the state, but it does happen.
Yeah. In some of them, it's just dad's sperm cells. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up MSS News because Scribbles has been talking for a while, and I got shits to say. Not about anything on YouTube, which is our next segment, so let's get that out of the way real quick. Satsu, what'd you work on today?
Not a motherfucking thing.
Very well. Scribbles, it's your turn to talk again. What'd you do today?
I didn't do anything.
All right, that is 2 for 2. Let's see if we can go 3 for 3. Monkey, what did you do today? Nothing.
Yay!
Not a goddamn thing.
Yay!
Actually, I laid in bed a lot today. I'm still having a good day, guys, but my legs were really sore today. So I laid out and sprawled them out and watched a lot of South Park and fell asleep a few times. So I didn't get anything done. I apologize for that. But I did this morning do another just random stream for the hell of it. And I think it turned out. I am. I need to hear myself talk.
Yeah.
It's just what I do. No, it's very much like, and I tried to explain this. It's very much like when we first started doing this, you know. We have a format, and I think if you're going to have a long show, you have to. Because there were times when we would be doing this, and it's just like, well, now what do we do? And the format helps with that. But I also miss just being able to ramble for no fucking reason. I don't know how often I will do that. Every now and then I might jump on and do it, but I do enjoy just rambling for no particular
Scribe, you
purpose?
should have heard him. I was listening to it today, and he was like, I love Satsu and Scribe, man, but those bitches in that fucking format, I hate that shit. They be restricting me and trying to stop me from being as great as I am. And I was like, oh no, he didn't.
This is a goddamn female lies. What that is. I ain't say no such thing.
No. Hashtag believe Satsu.
Why is everybody disbelieving me today?
Because
Because you're acting like a bitch.
Damn, hold up. Hold up.
Did I say that? Oh, sorry.
That's one of those times where the only thing I could say is well played.
I was not expecting that at all.
Speaking of that, how about we do fucketry now, Scribe?
Okay. Well, you go first because you got more to say, and my voice is still recovering.
Yeah, you're cool. Take a rest there. Yeah, I do have some fucketry today. The first one, this kind of caused confusion this morning because when I first tweeted out the part that I tweeted out, I made a comment about it. Let me explain. Some academics did an experiment. They released 20 different papers to different academic journals. Not all of these are your high name academic journals, but they still claim to be, scientifically peer-reviewed bullshit. And one of them is a story we've covered, I believe, on this show, where there was a study done where it was claimed that a man masturbating while thinking about a woman was rape. Do you guys remember that?
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember us talking about it previous. I remember seeing it today, though.
Yeah. So, and instead of tweeting the whole thread and everything, I just picked out this one because that article of all of them is the one that makes me just go, how can you not fucking see what was going on? And I just put in there, how would a woman even know? And that caused some confusions. People thought I fell for their stuff. And I did originally, but in this part, I didn't. I'd read the whole goddamn thread. And the point of the thread is to point out that these people who did this, it was all a joke. Well, not even a joke. It was an experiment to see or to show just how pathetic the peer review process for these academic journals has become.
Yep.
And there's so many of them because this one was bad. Let's see if I can find some of the other ones. Oh yeah, there was this one too. This one is another one. Like, how in the fuck did you not know? It's a paper that suggests experimental reparations for white students by making white students either sit on the floor or sit in chairs and be chained to them with fake chains. And this shit got past peer review. Mm-hmm. Now, of these, I believe it's 4 of them actually got published. Several of them are still right now in waiting, and some of them did get rejected. But the fact that any of them made it through, any of them, is fucking mind-blowing. How does that happen in an academic world that questions literally everything else? But if you put some stupid ass nonsense SJW garbage out there, then they're like, sure, chaining white people to chairs sounds like a great way to teach them about reparations.
Mm-hmm.
God. And there's actually people upset about this and talking about how unethical these 3 authors were. I'm like, okay, even if you believe that, the bigger issue, the far bigger issue here is that they got published.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm told, don't worry about the SJWs because they're just on college campuses and they're not real.
Well, I mean, do we need much more evidence of how gullible people are to these ideas than free bleeding, or piss for equality or whatever?
It's funny you mentioned free bleeding because I think it was an article that was sent to us either today or yesterday.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what?
The OK sign.
Oh, the OK sign. Yeah, it's another good one.
But
there was a woman who just did a story that was sent to us about her experience with free bleeding and how it wasn't as bad as she thought it would be.
Oh, God.
We're not reading that because I can't take much more of that. The one part that is funny to me is she talks about how on day 1 she was so worried about how much she would stink because it does stink. I'm like, oh, and she went out to a bar and she was so happy they had they had black stools in case she bled on it.
Oh Jesus!
Oh, that's disgusting.
Bitch.
Was that like the BuzzFeed? You guys remember the BuzzFeed video?
Very much like the BuzzFeed video, but this was a new one. This is something that was just done.
Well, you remember that BuzzFeed video? The premise was women can't live without tampons, so we don't need to pay taxes on it because it's a necessity. We literally cannot live without them. And then the whole video was basically a tutorial on how to live without them.
That is actually the video where my response to that is where my catchphrase came from. Your life makes me sad was from that video. And I have so many favorite parts of that video. There's the part where the woman said she had to get up and walk around because of the stink. She had to get up and walk outside. She's the same one who was happy that they were able to eat outside because of the stink. But she still went to a public restaurant and sat on their fucking dark chairs. And she said she was happy they had dark chairs because she didn't have to put the puppy pads down that she'd been sitting on all day. Like, so you just bled all over public space, you disgusting twat. Anyhow, yeah, the free bleeding thing. This one I can't share. I can't really share it. But it was sent out from Ian Miles Chong, and I don't remember where it originally came from. But it is video. There's there's an abortion rally going on. People who support abortion.
Oh yeah.
And somebody is filming it. And they walk up and they
a woman is filming it.
A woman is filming it. Yes,
that's important.
And she walks up and she talks to this male feminist who's there, who after about 30 seconds does a roundhouse kick and fucking knocks this bitch to the ground. Yeah. And then you can hear him saying, I meant to kick your phone. I meant to kick your phone. That's not right either, you dick bag. I'll give the let's see if I can get the link for that. So those of you who want to see it can. It's actually pathetic.
Dude, the tweet that I had put that up on Facebook too, and so many people was like, "Holy shit, that is the most confusing yet accurate depiction of what just took place." Because I said, "Let this sink in." A male feminist standing in the streets fighting for women's rights just assaulted a woman who had the right to film him defending women.
Yeah.
How is that a sentence that could actually exist?
And not one of the women who were there turned him in for what he did.
No.
Although I just saw on Twitter somebody has supposedly found that guy, at least his picture online.
Yes. And they show this picture and his name and everything, but it's just like
thank you, Flair Fritz. Well, damn, the top video in my recommendations on this stream is Monkey's video on men having periods too. Because men can have periods too. I remember doing that video too. Fucking morons. There's the Michael Avenatti thing. We already did that.
Remember, guys, if you want to assault women and get away with it, become a male feminist. It'll be okay for you to beat women.
I'm trying to remember what this was. The bitch got rid of it. Oh, yes. There was a tweet. I got to start screenshotting these before I tweet them out, because these bitches always take the shit down. This is a woman who claims to be a doctor. She is into holistic medicine, and this is on her Twitter bio. She puts the spit in hospital.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
She tweeted out that boobs are baby vending machines, and any man who is sexually aroused by boobs has psychological problems.
Wait, boobs produce babies?
I don't think that's what she meant.
Oh, that's exactly what it sounded like to me. They're baby. I mean, like if I say I have a candy bar vending machine, I don't think it's a vending machine made for candy bars.
She may have said they're food vending machines for babies. Like I said, she took it down, but that is the basic gist of it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you like titties, if you're a man who likes titties, she didn't say anything about women. If you're a man who likes titties, there's something psychologically wrong with you.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Not mentioning the fact that every fucking female that I've ever encountered who was feeling sexual immediately went for groping her boobs.
Oh yeah,
like every single one of them. I've never ever met a female who was getting sexual in any situation that didn't go straight for her boobs and start like massaging them and shit. They're not crazy. It's just the men. That we're crazy.
Yes, we're horrible people.
Yes, and that's why we give beads to people who do it at spring break, because like, show us those vending machines.
Ladies, show us your vending machines.
You've got the greatest set of vending machines I've ever seen.
Oh my god! And talk about objectification. I said that on somebody. Like,
your vending machine and front hole make me so happy.
Oh, the front hole, yeah.
Donald Trump sent me a text, y'all.
Oh wait, does that make the front hole the coin slot?
Yes.
Okay.
That's where I put my 2 cents.
Whoa! Hi-oh.
Anyhow, Donald Trump sent out the text today. Did y'all get that?
I did not.
I think everybody in the U.S. did.
Nope, I had a dumb phone. I did not get it. So that means in an emergency, I'm just going to die.
There's a lot of people who didn't get it, I saw, so they need to work on that. Real quick, Terry D. Monis, thank you. Reported in as in psychologically damaged, or reporting as in psychologically damaged. Yeah. England DG, hey, haven't seen you for a while, bud. Hope you're well.
Hey.
Someone look up Blazing Saddles work scene. I love Blazing Saddles. I haven't watched that in a while. I have to watch it again. There was a lot of great memes came from Donald Trump's tweet today, and it wasn't actually from Donald Trump, guys. This is from it's actually from FEMA, I believe, is who oversees it now. The emergency notification system in the
system,
if you were a kid in my day, every Saturday you're watching cartoons and you'd have to listen to for a few minutes as they told us, if this was an emergency, we would have told you what the fuck to do.
Yeah, in other words, if the nuclear bombs were dropping, this is what you'd hear before you burn to a crisp.
Indeed. They also use those sounds though for like the weather service. If you live anywhere where there's severe weather, you'll get we get those a lot with not tornadoes, blizzards up here.
I had one time where not exactly near me, but I guess within the broadcasting range, a tanker on a train had turned over and some dangerous chemicals got out, and they were trying to tell everybody to evacuate the area.
Oh yeah. The one I didn't get to grab a screenshot on it, but this woman tweeted out that she'd really like to know, after everybody got their message today, if people still think she's crazy for saying that in 2016 we were going to become fascists.
What?
England DG, thank you. It was a system test that Obama approved. Yes, it is. That's another thing that people seem to not understand. Obama set this up. Trump was just the first to use it. No, this woman, because of this, I didn't get to grab her exact quote. So instead, I went through and I found a poll she's running. Okay, this is the poll. Y'all actually believe that presidential message is going to be used only by FEMA for national emergencies? And here's your choices. Nah, we know better. Number 2, maybe he'll surprise us. 3, sis, you already know. And 4, it's how fascism starts.
So Obama's a Nazi. Thank you.
Cryptic, thank you. What caused the airline to go bankrupt? Runway inflation. I'm loving your jokes tonight, Crypt. Yeah, for some reason, this woman thinks that emergency broadcasts are fascist. They're not a new concept. Even going to the point of Obama is the one who approved this. As I said, we used to see this every fucking Saturday. And if you listen to the radio at all, they do it there too. Because it's a warning system in case shit goes bad.
Does she seem to think like this is a takeover of the airwaves?
I'm guessing so.
Okay, it's not.
Well, are we gonna talk about some of the other hot takes from this?
I have 2 more that I want to read, but thank you, England DG. Next president, pizza is free at Comet.
Oh.
Where's this? I know I have 2 more. Okay. This one, hearing everyone's phone go off during the presidential alert made me sick to my stomach. It feels like an assault from a man I try so hard to avoid, and there's no way to stop this predator. I'm shaking and literally feel like throwing up. That's how the bitch responded to a test emergency broadcast signal on her fucking phone.
Yeah. She might have psychological problems, or she likes boobs.
She probably likes boobs.
Either that, or her phone is sentient and does some crazy shit to her whenever she gets text messages.
Now, here's my favorite of the day, by far. And there were a lot of contenders, guys. There's so many I could have went with, but this one is my favorite. My phone was assaulted by the Orange Menace.
Oh.
I feel violated. If it's just a test of the emergency broadcast system, I get that. But to make it a presidential alert in my space, he's raping us through technology. That is a direct quote, y'all. He's raping us through technology.
And that was from Diane Phillips, who is a community college science professor, by the way. And also, this is important. She has 1.5 dogs.
What?
What?
You tell me what
1.5.
Where'd the other half go?
I don't know, but she only has 1.5 dogs.
Is she free?
Wait, hang on. Is it one dog and then the other one's a half, or is it like 2 3/4 dogs?
I don't know.
Did she send the other half to Kiro?
Oh, no Jesus. Thank you, England DG. I'm sorry my joke disappointed you, Scribe. Can I hear you sigh any harder?
Well, you have to get me in a particular mood for that.
I think that's all the fucketry I have. Yeah, I just love that. England DG, thank you. Does this mean I'm raping you all, or is it 20 people I'm raping? How does this work? Well, actually, 222 people at this moment. You're raping England DG because you are orange right now, and man, you need to turn yourself into the FBI.
Yeah, that's right.
Raping us with technology.
Somebody was like, what the fuck? I put that on Facebook. Somebody was like, what the fuck happened to the other half of her second dog?
That's right. Where'd the dog go?
These people lost. I loved all the memes. People, putting in the different things that their text said. Like, I even like the ones where they said, I'm quitting. No need to do anything, or no other response. It's cute. It's funny. People had fun with it. But these people were losing their goddamn minds.
Yeah, the memes were pretty funny. Like, the memes were funny that came out of it, but like the people who were just
even had one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, tongue bettering turtle caves. Sad.
Yeah. But these people, Jesus fucking Christ. Anyhow, that's all I have. Do you guys have anything?
No, that was most of the stuff I had too. Just looking at the fuckery in there.
Oh wait, there's one more. There's one more from the same thing. This one came from Abraham. Imagine blocking a dude from every app, social media possible, just so he can go and send you a message you can't ignore whenever he wants.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Whenever he wants. How about when there's a national emergency?
Well, how about this? You don't have to block people on most social media. Just don't follow them. If you go out of your way, if this dude's like gone to Twitter, I'm going to block Donald Trump. Like, Donald Trump is going to personally reach out to this asshole.
Yeah.
At any time. Like, shut up. You took the time to do that. You're a moron. And I hope you step on Legos.
Maybe. Safe.
The fucking I didn't realize how bad it was going to be. I saw somebody tweet out as soon as it happened, like, okay, here comes all the whining. I'm like, oh, come on, it won't be that bad. And oh my God. It's
you almost think he got elected again or something.
It's like he was sending his dick through the phone. He didn't even send a dick pic with it. What are the chances it was actually Donald Trump who sent out the test warning? It wasn't Donald Trump. But it says presidential warning. That was the part that 1.5 dogs there objected to so hard, is that it said presidential alert. Anyway, so do we have a deep topic if nobody has any more fucketry? That's a no. That's a quick no. Oh, I do want to remind people, in a little over 40 minutes, probably about an hour actually from now, we will be playing 7 Days to Die on the open server. You can come either join us through Discord or watch us on 2 Cents Plus, and it's always a good time over there. For those of you who play regularly, make sure you show up a few minutes early. I need to have a word with you guys. And England DG, Donald Trump touched me today digitally. Yeah, well, you're lucky he only touched you. He raped other people. He raped other people. You know, I had actually topics I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, I do have a deep topic. This was sent out today. I forget who did it, but a lady sent this out, and she asked, in all honesty, being completely honest, if you had a business, would you hire women right now?
Oh, right. Yeah, I saw that.
And my honest answer is probably not. I won't say absolutely no, because if all I get is drooling retards on the male side, you kind of have to go with the women. But if I had 2 equally qualified candidates, one male, one female, I would probably hire the man. And it does boil down to litigation and the shit we've seen from so many different things. Ex-Bubba Hotep, thank you. Also, the people saying, I turned off my phone in advance so I wouldn't get it. What valiant warriors. Yeah. I saw somebody tell people how to go in and turn it off. Like, fuck off. Literally, all you had to do was press it and it went away. But anyway, if you guys had businesses, would you hire women?
I'd definitely be putting more thought into not doing it than doing so. In light of, you know, what's going on or whatever, which once again, you know, Satsu got to go into Alex Jones mode all the time.
Before you do, chat, if you would hire a woman, press 1. If you wouldn't, press 2. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Satsu.
Now, they've been pushing this narrative or whatever that women aren't hired simply because they're women. And many people have proved that this is like untrue and that it's, you know, against the law and there's laws and stuff against it. And they're like, fuck, man, I'm tired of people pointing out the fact that we're wrong about this. We need to find a way to make this true. This is how they do it.
Well, see, I wouldn't even do it in it would be because they're women, but it's not actually because they're women. If that
but that's what the end result would be.
Sure,
like,
sure. Well,
yeah.
The person who wrote the original tweet, they're like, they said the same thing. You know, I probably wouldn't. Is this what you were trying for, feminism? Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I just with all the stuff we've seen, because even if you beat a false claim, it's going to cost you thousands. Thank you, England DG. All you had to do was press it and it went away. Every man about age 12, 14 wished the random boner would do that, especially when called to the chalkboard. Yeah, no shit. And I see you smartasses putting 1.5 in the chat there.
We didn't ask you how many dogs that chick had. We asked
That's
you.
right. What about you, Scribbles? Would you be at least hesitant? Would you do it? Would you hire him without? Would it strictly be merit-based?
You know,
it's a hard one. I get you.
I honestly don't know. I mean, it's like with anything else. It's like with relationships these days. It's like, do you want to roll the dice? Do you want to take the chance? You want to take the chance you get that one person who's bought into the thing that if I get offended, if my feelings are hurt, therefore I have a claim of assault, abuse, whatever. I would screen my applicants very carefully. I would look at their references. I would do very thorough interviews with them. I mean, on the basis that I would believe myself, and I do believe myself to be an egalitarian. You know, it's like I don't care who or what you are as long as you can do the job. I can't say that I wouldn't be a little bit more, let's say, curious about people who are women coming into my business.
I love you, good night, baby.
And I blame this new culture we're in, where accusation is evidence and offense equals assault, and so on and so on.
I look at somebody like my wife and be like, I'd hire her, but I know her very well and have for 25 years. That's you're taking a chance hiring any woman these days. And I hate saying that because I do believe women can be just as capable as men. But the capability part's not the issue right now. That's not what worries me.
Yeah.
Well, the people who are upset about this, though, once again, this is an issue of their narratives clashing, because they have been pushing the unconscious bias narrative for a really long time. We're just the most tiniest, most mundane thing. Everything has to be changed, watered down, and tailored a certain way because your unconscious bias might make you do something or whatever. But that does not apply to men being falsely accused.
No.
Like, that doesn't apply to that at all. That's a ridiculous notion. Like, why would you even say that? Just because men are being falsely accused and they could possibly lose their entire life in an instant, that doesn't mean that men are gonna, no, that's ridiculous. But if you play a video game with a naked girl in there, you're gonna start beating your girlfriend the next day. That makes sense.
Ex-Bubba Hotep, it's the liability that makes me hesitant. Exactly. That's what it is for me too. I've worked with many women and I never had a problem with it, but these days, man, yeah.
How does this not become an inherent insurance risk?
See, I was wondering about that with the CEOs in California, where they have to have, not CEOs, the board members.
Board members, yeah.
What happens if they get sued by one of those women they hire?
I don't know.
Isn't that bad for the company?
Well, you would think any employee suing the company is bad for the company, but
Jack said, real quick, Jack says, easy problem to fix. Just ask if they're feminists. It's not that easy, man.
No, and even then, you can't. You start weeding people out on their personal, then you're tempting fate with being given a lawsuit.
England DG says, I really have shit to say here. I can't say it. It has to do with all the crap involving race and gender and how it supports the white male narrative. You don't have to. You don't have to. I appreciate the super chats, and if you want to keep doing those, I appreciate them. But if you just want to throw your thoughts in the chat, I'll read those too here in just a few minutes. I do have two more things that I meant to get to earlier. One, I don't know if you guys have seen it. There's been quite a bit blowing up about the BetterHelp.com.
No.
I mentioned it once on here because I seen Philly D do it, and we were talking about some suicide thing, and I just mentioned that he's pushed it. I want to be clear here. I've never been a sponsor of them. I've never used them, but there's a lot of who was it? Memology did some videos where he pointed out that a whole bunch of YouTubers started doing mental health videos, and then snuck in one of these. This is by the way, guys, you can go to mental health, including Shane Dawson in his ultra popular new series on Jake Paul.
Are these paid sponsorships or something?
Yes, they are.
Oh, did they give a due notice on their videos that this was the case?
They do mention that they're sponsorships, that this video is sponsored by this. But what they don't mention, and this is the part that is bothering me, is the pricing.
Oh, okay.
The cheapest that you can get this service is for $35 a week.
But what is the service meant to do? I haven't even heard this.
You get quote access to a licensed therapist anytime you need to talk to one. That's the way it's billed.
Okay.
There's been some question about that. There have been people who've said, I couldn't get anybody. The one person said that their counselor, because you can set up times for your meetings with these people. Their counselor backed out 15 minutes before the supposed time. And I don't know if any of this is true. I don't. But the pricing thing bothers me because I haven't seen anybody really talk about it. Not one of the people pushing this has mentioned the pricing.
And what is the pricing?
The $35 a week thing is only if you sign up for a whole year.
$35 a week. That's how much I paid per session, which was a weekly session, to an actual licensed therapist I could look in the eye of.
Yeah. It goes up from that exponentially. I can't remember if the yearly price is billed immediately, but if you do like a month at a time, I can't remember. I want to say it's like $75. It might be $65 per week at that point. They bill you immediately.
Yeah.
And they don't tell you that.
Here's my other question is same question I ask on so many of these TEDx talks when it says, our speaker today is Dr. Bubba. Licensed by who?
Yeah. England DG, thank you. I fart a super chat in your general direction. By all means, fart away. You can fart rate my super chat all you like.
Whoa.
The other one, we've occasionally been asked to push out people's like GoFundMe's and stuff.
Yes.
And I'm very hesitant to do that. Very, very hesitant.
Unless it's somebody we know or something.
Right. Like when Pat needed his new computer, I'm happy to help out Pat. I love Pat and I.
When Poppy needed like medical.
Poppy's, I think she's still doing that because she has an eye she's gonna fucking lose, and I've known Poppy for a long time. But there's a dude running around. What the hell's his name? Oh, I gotta go back to my profile so I can see the things I retweeted today. It's Hyrule something. I forget his name.
Hyrule. Oh, I think I saw something about this today.
Yeah. Is it? Don't make me go to the whole channel to find out your fucking name.
A real Legend of Zelda fan is the short version.
Hyrule Bard. That's what it is.
Yes.
Hyrule Bard. Anyway, he's been running around telling people all about his lupus and how he just had surgery the other day. Turns out it's all full of shit.
It's never lupus, we learned from House.
Indeed. It's never lupus. And he has this 4-minute apology video where he's, I'm sorry I said this. I'm going to try to do better and make my channel good just by doing good content, which to me tells me he was also using this to try to push for viewers. By the way, guys, when I talk about what's wrong with me, I never want you to give me money for what's wrong with me. It's just who I mean, I live my life. I'm okay with it. If I ever needed help, I will ask. But
if you give money to Monkey for what he does, then you are supporting what's wrong with him.
That is true as well. I want you guys to give me money because you find me interesting.
All right.
And because I have so many fundraisers going right now, none of which are real, guys. Just throw that out there.
Did this guy actually raise money? Did he take it, or was he in the process, or what?
I've yet to be able to find what exactly he took, but I do know he had a GoFundMe set up. And yeah, there's the Suit in his video. Suit Yourself. If you guys don't know Suit, check him out.
Yeah.
He told people, look, if you donated this fucker, go to GoFundMe and tell him, give me my money back. This is why I'm hesitant. There's been just too many of these things where people are fucking lying dicks. And this guy at the end of his thing, right? Instead of just leaving it, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done this. He did it for his mom.
Oh God.
Because she's the one who really has lupus.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I'm
like,
how hard would
mother is a shield
that my mom has lupus?
Yeah, right. Wouldn't that be just as good as I have lupus? Why not? Hey, my mom has lupus and she needs help. Dapperton did a video on him. Yeah, trying to help him. The dude is a douchebag, and Dapperton was also one of the first to call him out because being used like that, fuck no. So, guys, if you ever do hit me up with one of these things and I either ignore it or tell you no, please don't be offended. It's just that I don't want to attach myself to somebody who's scamming people, and unless I know you, I can't tell. Hell, you can't even tell if your friends are doing it.
Oh, did you ever find out how to set up a super chat that goes straight to a charity?
I give me just a second. Why kick a moo cow? At what age is it appropriate to tell my dog he's adopted? Wait until he dies and you get a new dog who looks just like him.
No. First you need to get half a dog and then tell the other half.
Wait till he's at least more than a half.
Yeah, right. More than a half.
Anyway, yeah, guys, Ethan Ralph did his heel stream the other day where they raised $26,000 for St. Jude's, which is fucking amazing. Great for them. But looking at it, it's like, I would really like to do one of those because the super chats go immediately to the place. There's no middleman. You don't have to worry that your money that you gave to charity is like going to me and I'm going to keep it all. No, they just go straight to it. And I reached out to Ethan. I'm like, dude, where is this? I can't find it in my settings. And he gave me a screenshot to show me right where it should be. And it wasn't there. So I reached out to YouTube. And right now it is in limited. It's in limited state in the U.S. and Canada.
Oh, okay.
They're hoping to roll it out sooner, or not sooner, more. But there's the way they sent me a link to their blog, and the way that they describe it, things might change a little bit. When Ethan did his, all $26,000 of that, every penny goes straight to St. Jude's. Okay. YouTube's not taking any of it. But when they mentioned that in the blog post, it seems like they might change that at a later date. Like they might even do something where they take a smaller percentage, say 10%, just to cover their costs. I don't know, but that part left me a little like, because I would hope they would do it 100% for everybody always, but we'll see. But until they roll that out, it can't do it, because I would love to do a charity stream for the Leukemia Society. My mom died of that, and it's been where I give money when I can, and I would love to do something for them, because they were helpful to my dad when he went through all that. So if they ever make that a thing, yeah, I would definitely set up a stream for that. But with that, guys, it is actually 5 minutes later than it should be when I say it's your time. Questions, comments, concerns, throw them into the chat now. We will do our best to answer them. If it is a question, make sure you put question marks behind it. So we tend to look for those more. It's easier just to give back and forth when there's a question. Also, don't forget, 2 cents plus, 7 days to die right after this stream. So ask us stuff now.
Hold on, I'm not ready.
Yeah, ask your questions, guys. I hate scammers. I really do. Yeah. I wish I could look at every fundraiser and go, this is a worthy cause. This is something to, or this is something I support. This is something I don't support. Rather than having to go, is that motherfucker lying? This guy went so far as to go online and pull up pictures of somebody with a scar, because he said he had to have, I think it was liver surgery. I can't remember. But he pulled up a scar of somebody who had surgery and passed it off as his own. And when he was called out on that, he took a picture. He goes, okay, yeah, that's not really me. And he went and found a picture with somebody who had a different scar, and he superimposed it over his own stomach.
Oh, Jesus.
You fucking douche. Anyway, let's see. Well, how's Mama 2 Cents doing?
Oh, she's good. She loves her new machine. She's been telling me that she's been using it, and she said her husband is jealous of it.
I need you to ask her for me, seriously, because I, as a diabetic and somebody that has got to worry about losing my feet one day, how well that's working for her.
She said it works really, like, if anytime she comes home from work or just she's having some pain or whatever, about an hour, and it like, her legs feel totally normal. And she says she uses it every time, anytime she's getting any pain in her legs or whatever. It helps every time. So I don't know if she's just like super excited. It's just like, it's so great, or if it's actually working to that effect. But she sound very, very pleased with it. Yeah. So.
Let's see. You need to start a new morning channel, Raging Monkey.
Raging Monkey.
We'll see. I have been enjoying just the random chats, and those aren't just for me. If Scribe's home, I will definitely hit him up and see if he wants to do it. And if Satsu's awake, I hit him the other night, and he's like, "Nah, dude."
Yeah, because at that time I was just like, I was getting ready. I'm prepping to get in the bed, because I'm like, I've been going to bed on time lately. And he said what he was talking about, and I'm like, oh no, I'll be up all fucking night. No, I'm good.
And I was actually.
If I was home and available, I certainly would. But short of something odd happening, I'm usually at work most days.
Alan says, so 2 or 4 a.m. tonight, Monkey. It was 5 this morning, wasn't it? Like 5:30. Because actually, I didn't talk about that either. Mr. Medicare, when I first woke up, because I woke up at like 4 in the morning, and he was getting ready to do a live stream because somebody had threatened him.
Yeah.
If you watched his second video, the fat guy that was the fat girl guy
ish thing,
yeah, was the fat one who was interviewing Kiro, did a live stream where they said out loud that somebody needed to tell Mr. Medicare he has 24 hours to take down his video. Because there was a DMCA filed against it, and because he used 6 minutes of my 18-minute video. Not how DMCA works, asswipe. England DG, thank you. I am farting for half a dog, but not just any dog. The dog raped me in 1982, but he raped me for charity, so it's all good. You can't prove it did or didn't, but that is okay. You might want to talk to Michael Avenatti. He could probably help you out with that. But yeah, so Jim did a stream where he just ripped into this fucking asshole.
Can we get some words of condolences for Opie in the chat? He has ligma.
What is ligma?
Lick my balls, bitch.
No.
Son of a bitch. I can't believe I fell for that. OP for setting him up. I'm giving you the finger right now. You can't see it, but I am.
I never imagined in a million years that would work. Holy fucking shit.
Well, that's what you could probably get me with a lot of those things when it goes into question time because my mind's on what I'm saying. Damn it. Yodeling Monster wants to know if I'm a Youper. No. That is way too cold for my Southern California ass.
Oh boy.
What's the most interesting thing that has ever happened to you? This is asked to all of us.
It just happened 3 seconds ago.
Fuck you. Your life makes me sad. The most interesting thing?
Most interesting thing.
Well, just by what's happened since meeting my wife. And that sounds, I mean, probably blasé, but yeah, that led to everything my life is right now. So
Oh, Monkey, check your Streamlabs. Man, that's funny. That is too funny.
Oh, thank you, tall person. What are your blood types? I'm asking for reasons unrelated to organ harvesting. My blood type is sugar.
Most interesting the thing that happened to me. Well, I think in general terms, the fact that, you know, within the first 2 weeks of my going to college, I became president of the bondage club. It's not something you hear every day from someone, and it's an anecdote that never really gets old in the telling, given that I was such a normie growing up and everything. So, as far as my blood type, I honestly don't know what it is.
Okay, a lot of interesting things have happened to me, but the one that stands out the most is I was working at Tower City in downtown Cleveland, and there was a basketball game that had just finished earlier, and we were getting ready to close up, and I was buying some food before the Chinese place closed, and there was a really tall dude in front of me who I didn't recognize, but the person who was serving them food started freaking out because apparently it was a basketball player. I can't remember what player it was or what fucking team he played for that matter. I just know that they were freaking out. And I was on the phone with my mom because she was telling me to get her something. And I was telling her, like, apparently there's a basketball player in front of me. Like I said, I can't remember who it was. I knew, like, she had told me who it was then. And I was talking to her on the phone, and she was like, for real? He's right in front of you? And I'm like, yeah. She was like, let me talk to him. And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean let you talk to him? So I handed him the phone, and he took it. And she was like, you should buy me some food. That's the first thing she said to him. Like, you should buy me some food. And he was like, okay, I'll buy you some food. But first off, you got to tell me who's your favorite basketball team. And she was like, what team you play for? And he told her. She was like, not yours.
Oh, shit.
That's great.
And he was like, I like that. Honest. I like that. And then he bought her the food and he gave it to her. He was like, you got an awesome mom, dude. And then he just walked off. And I was just
your mom is, I love your mom. She is great.
She's like, let me talk to him. And I'm like, what? What do you mean?
But, excuse me, my mom wants to talk to you.
Yeah, dude. I was stuck. I'm just like, my mom wants to talk to you.
That is a great story. Johnny Hellcat, press F to pay respect to Ligma victims. Look, you got me. There's nothing else for me to say there.
Monkey, next week we'll talk about the Sugma.
We're not doing Sugma. Did you hear that someone sent rice into Mattis? Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. Covered that story, guys. The chat keeps jumping on me. I'm just down at the bottom, so if you ask something, please ask again. I apologize. If you could write a story, what would it be about? I can write a story.
And whatever.
I've written many.
Ain't no telling. Shit.
I've written a lot of stories. I wish I had it in me to write a novel of some kind. I'm actually quite envious of SDA for having accomplished that at such a relatively young age. And I don't have any. I've had many story ideas. I've written lots and lots of short stories in my day, but nothing has ever come to me that would, I think, qualify as a novel length idea.
2 cars ran through a bank here in Grand Rapids today. Fuck.
Hey.
Damn. Where at? I've spent some time in Grand Rapids. I don't live down that way, but Grand Rapids is it's like so many cities these days. There's part of it that's fucking beautiful, and then there's part of it that looks like a war town. Just everything's run down and shitty looking. They spent a lot of money to upgrade the downtown area, and it's fucking beautiful. But you get away from there, and it's like, Jesus Christ, what happened here? Did Cleveland move in?
East Cleveland, to be precise.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm not falling for any of my things anymore. Stop it. Any dumb phobias?
Not dumb. I mean, I feel like most of my phobias are rational.
My fear of heights is not rational at all, but I'm deathly afraid of heights. But that also is the reason I love like roller coasters. Because as afraid of heights as I am, that is a fucking rush once you get that down.
We have that exact same problem because I do have a fear of heights too. Like I get really uneasy and lightheaded whenever I'm like looking over something really high, but I fucking love roller coasters.
I don't have a fear of heights. I guess it's a weird one. I have this instinctive like cringe if I'm on a high place and I look up at the sky while I'm in a high place. I don't know what it is about that, but looking up, like if I'm standing on top of it, like I remember one time I went to New York for a student trip thing, and we were on the Empire State Building, and looking up from there, like if I'm on the ground and look up at the sky, no big deal. But if I'm at a high point and I look up, for some reason, it feels like the weight of the world is suddenly coming down on me, and I get like all cringy and weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean.
It doesn't bother me if I'm on the ground, but if I'm already up off the ground and I look up at something high, it fucks me up.
I don't understand the deal about it, but that is a thing.
What is Grand Monkey going for as Halloween? I don't know. I would guess a princess. She hasn't got her costume yet. Jaster says, think of renaming this account. Don't want a channel name to be the same as a potential son. What do y'all think? I think you should name it I Love Ranting Monkey.
By the way, guys, Ranting Monkey is not a narcissist.
I'm not a narcissist. I'm an egomaniac.
There you go. That's better.
Let's see. Lots of people telling us got the same feeling, and I don't know what it is. When I worked at Walmart, I was one of the only people there who knew how to use the scissor lift. And as long as I was by a wall, I had no problem using the scissor lift. But there's a couple of times where you have to go straight up where there's nothing around you. Mm-hmm. And that would freak me the fuck out. As long as I could touch something going up, I was fine. But if I was just going straight up to the ceiling, fuck me all kinds of ways. I'm not scared of heights. I'm scared of falling. I'm not afraid of falling. I do it all the fucking time.
Yeah, I know shit.
What are y'all going as for Halloween? I'm not leaving my house, so I'll probably be the half-naked man in pajama pants sitting in front of his computer for Halloween.
Same here. I don't have any Halloween plans, so I don't imagine I'll be doing much of anything.
I'm going to dress up as somebody young enough to be trick-or-treating.
Nice. If you were going to interview Norm Macdonald, what would you say to him? You know, we were actually asked earlier the same question by Jean-Pierre, who likes to rephrase his questions until we answer him. If we would interview him and what we would ask him, I would love to interview Norm Macdonald. And I would ask him how he survived in Hollywood with his political views. Because he's quite conservative, and except for getting flack the other day for his comment about Roseanne and them, he's pretty much gotten away with it.
I'd probably ask him, given the number of travails he's gone through in his career, like being fired from SNL for being too offensive or whatever, and you know, this latest thing with what was it that he said that he pissed everybody off with?
He said that it was partially Me Too and partially about Roseanne and how he thought shit was going too far.
I'd be curious to know, and I mean, I could probably, you know, guess what his answer might be, but I'd be curious to know how he maintains his overall seemingly positive attitude in the face of such just absolute horseshit 9 times out of 10, you know?
Yeah.
Because he's always got this grin on his face. He always looks like he comes across as like some like naughty kid who knows he just did something. He's getting ready.
He always looks like he knows he did something, and you might know too.
Yeah, he looks like cleverly guilty all the time. It's part of his charm, and the way he just knows how to set up the long game story joke. Because if you guys ever want to hear like the long game story joke, just look up Norm Macdonald, the moth joke, and you'll see what I mean. It's perfect. I don't know how he does it.
Your boy Pat says, you think Alyssa Milano regrets Kanye tweet? No. I don't think she's smart enough to regret it.
What's the tweet? I don't understand.
Make Kanye again.
Oh, okay.
One where the little white girls telling black man how he's supposed to think.
Right.
You need to interview Ben Shapiro. I'm told he doesn't troll well. I would love to talk to Ben Shapiro. I need to reach out to Roaming and see if she can set that up for me. I'm sure if he hears my stuff, he'd be happy to come talk to me.
Yes.
I saw somebody the other day on who was it? Barbara For You to See, her video that she did. Which one was it? It was male feminist stuff, and I put a comment on there that I liked it, and somebody responded to me saying that I shouldn't be encouraging her because she drank a beer in the video and she was swearing.
What? Were they being serious or making a Kavanaugh joke?
No, they were being serious.
What?
This is a person who apparently has followed Barbara for a while, and anytime she sees Barbara drink in a video or swear in a video, goes all motherly on her. You shouldn't be doing that.
Oh my God. Get a life.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not offended by adults acting like adults. I'm really not.
How dare you drink and swear? That's illegal.
And they said back to me that it's not that. It's not that they're offended by it.
Oh.
But she's drinking.
Uh-huh.
That's literally she's drinking, and the other part is her followers are mean to me when I say this stuff.
Jesus
like, yeah, they're probably telling you mind your own fucking business.
Grow up.
People who I put out a Twitter poll not long ago asking if I swear too much, just enough or not, or just the right amount or not enough.
Right.
And I did that partially because I did realize I was saying fuck a lot that day. But people who tell me you shouldn't swear, it hurts your argument. I'm like, that's fucking stupid. My argument's either good or bad. It has nothing to do with whether or not I swear when I say it. And if you think it does matter, you're wrong. Jean-Pierre says, Satsu 2 cents. What's your favorite Motown song? Sounds like a racist question.
That sounds, yeah, that's racist.
Shit, man, I can't think about that right now. I'd have to play Grand Theft Auto again.
I would probably go with something like My Girl. I fucking love that song. Tears of a Clown. Anything Smokey Robinson. Yeah, that's where I'm at. As I've reflected, sadly, I've found regret sex is kind of like life. It seemed a good idea at the time. I don't have any regret sex stories. I mean, I told the story the other day about losing my virginity, and as bad as that was, it was still sex. Ranting Monkey swears more than I say everything in this right there. You're definitely right there, Pat. Afternoon Delight. Is Afternoon Delight Motown?
No, it couldn't be. Was it?
I don't know.
That doesn't sound right.
Anyway, I'm sorry if I missed your questions, guys. Make sure you throw them back in there. I'm not being lazy. It's just YouTube keeps jumping on me tonight. Worse than it's been in a while. And don't forget, after this show, you can catch me and Satsu, and let's see, I'm sure Fritz is going to be there. Nuts, when are you going to join us? But we're going to be playing 7 Days to Die over on 2 Cents Plus. So either join us in Discord, and if you have the game on PC, it has to be on PC. Sorry, guys. You can join us to play, or just come watch us because it's a lot of fun. I like that your boy Pat's make Alyssa again. Yeah, I saw it. That was great. Pat tweeted out, make Alyssa again. in response to her make Kanye again, which was awesome. Mass Effect versus KOTOR. Oh, I got to give it to
Mass Effect, but so yeah.
I would give it to Mass Effect just because, especially with the original KOTOR, I felt a little bit too limited in the game. It was so linear. They did a good job trying to make it not feel linear, but it was so linear.
Yeah.
Can you start a third channel, Swearing Monkey? Actually, I think I still have a third channel, just none of you know about it. I don't do anything over there. You're not missing out, but I could probably rename it Swearing Monkey. Bad Comic Review says, I'll be on Polydub's channel tonight. Oh, guys, make sure you check that out after you watch our gaming stream. Do you guys think Kentucky Fried Movie could be made today? No, hell no.
No, not without a shit ton of controversy and it being like 0 on Rotten Tomatoes just out of virtue.
Yeah, some of the jokes in there would not. I don't think Airplane could be made today, frankly.
Well,
it is all about stereotypes. There's a great quote from the movie, or from the guys who made that movie. He said, "This is a movie that had the potential to offend everyone and offended no one."
Well, I think you could do it, but I mean, they've done movies like it since, and like Date Movie and Meet the Spartans and all this crap. It's similar. It's not the same. It all depends on the presentation. Like, I think if they had, like, part of the reason the Airplane worked so well is that they hired actors who were not known for comedy.
Sure.
And they're serious. They were relatively regarded as serious actors, but they're made to do ridiculous things. I think if you can do something like that, where you don't have someone who is known to be someone who profits off of making fun of people, you could get away with it, I think.
I think the problem with it would be not that you, of course you can make parody movies today, but the vast majority of jokes in that are just so offensive, especially by today's. Having a grown man asking a child if he likes gladiator movies or if he's ever seen a grown man naked, no way that would go over.
Unless you're at like Slate.com or something.
Yeah. Eddie Murphy is playing in an upcoming Dolomite movie, playing as Rudy. I still haven't seen the original. I have to see it.
Really? They're going after Dolomite? Jeez. Blaxploitation, you know.
Which Mickey Mouse Club kid would you punch in the crotch?
Hubby!
Annette Funicello with my wiener.
Don't ask me why I know about Cubby.
Do you like movies about beer, or do you like beer? I don't like beer. And
Strange Brew, yes.
Strange Brew was great. My wife actually introduced me to Strange Brew. I'd never even heard of it. And
wonderful.
Top Secret. Oh my God, Top Secret was awesome. I think Top Secret could be made. There wasn't as many offensive jokes in that one.
No, it was mostly a spy movie spoof all over the place. I mean, there was some mild social political commentary here and there, but for the most part, it was just takes off on like James Bond movies and spy movies from the 50s and 60s.
Yeah. The only scene from that I could think of that would probably not be allowed today is the cow rape scene.
Oh God.
Which is still so great. When he comes walking around the corner with his legs all spread open, that's so fucking awesome. Yeah, no way Blazing Saddles would be made today.
No. Not unless it was written, directed, produced, and starring a person of color, let's say.
The Wayans brothers could remake Blazing Saddles.
Yes.
The Wayans brothers can do literally anything and don't nobody get upset. Because all of their shit, like if you watch any of their things, it has every single thing that people complain about when it comes to stereotypes and shit in the movie. And they take it to the max and nobody ever complains. Like
that's because it's recognized as satire and that's what it's supposed to be.
Right. Just because they are who they are and they look like what they look like.
Mm-hmm.
Jar Jar Binks wants to know Police Academy versus Naked Gun. Naked Gun, hands down. I'd like Police Academy, but Naked Gun was funnier. I have the Mackenzie Brother Christmas album on vinyl. I don't know who the Mackenzie Brother are.
With a Strange Brew.
Oh,
Bob and Doug
see,
McKenzie.
I've never seen. I've only seen Strange Brew a few times, and I've never seen what is SCTV?
SCTV, yeah.
Yeah.
You know those characters were completely made up as filler material for the transition of broadcasting to a different market. Is that the way the show used to time out? It was like at 21 minutes or something, and then when they were going to move it to somewhere else where they had 22 minutes, they said, "Okay, we need something to fill up a minute worth of time. You guys come up with something." And so Rick Moranis and a guy whose name I fucking forget right now. They just came up with the most like stereotypical Canadians they could think of just to fill up a minute, just bullshit. They didn't have a script or anything. And they ended up becoming the most popular part of the show, much to the chagrin of the rest of the cast who actually had like established characters and plot lines and shit.
And with that, guys, I didn't even realize it is 11 o'clock.
Whoops, my bad.
No, you're fine. Those are the kind of shows I love. When we get to 11, it's like, fuck, we don't get to talk anymore. But with that, chat, you guys are the most amazing chat anywhere on the planet. You're the greatest fans. And I appreciate you guys coming. And thank you so much for the donations tonight. I can't tell you how much I enjoy eating and how much you helped me with that. Scribe, Satsu, a pleasure as always. Everybody, don't forget to join us over on 2 Cents Plus. We'll be playing 7 Days to Die here in just a few minutes. My ability to speak makes me sad. We'll see you next time, guys.
Bye, guys.
Later. For real.
Well, yeah.
Rude.
Real men burp.
Not like bitches.
I'm not.
Today's secret word is articulate.
Ooh.